News Channel 5 on your side presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast today. The Women of Color Foundation launches its inaugural prison outreach program in early September. Founder and chairwoman Alexandria Boone is here to tell us more about that. Later on, we'll hear from Amy Helgeson of Autism Speaks. She'll share information about the annual walk to benefit Autism Speaks. And later on the broadcast after that, Kim Sellers and Ruby Alexander will tell us about the Health and Financial Fitness Seminar hosted by the MC Chapman Center for Humanitarian Services. Good morning, everybody. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning with Alexandria Boone, founder and chairwoman of the Women of Color Foundation, one of our regulars on the broadcast. Hi, Alex.
How you doing, Leon?
I'm doing fine.
That's
you too?
Good. Okay.
Yeah, you're always with us and always glad to tell us about what's going on with the Women of Color Foundation.
Absolutely.
For some people who may not know what that is, why don't you give us a little brief description?
Okay, well, the Women of Color Foundation is a 501c3 tax-exempt organization that's been around for 13 years, and we produce all kinds of events and activities and programs for women and girls of color related to executive development and leadership development.
You've got a program coming up which is kind of unusual.
Yes, and it's probably got me more excited than I've been in a long time. We're launching our first program with the Ohio Reformatory for Women in Marysville, Ohio. While the program is not open to the public, it is a historic venture for us and for the prison. Ronnie Burks is a good friend of mine, and she's also the niece of Caesar Burks. I don't know if you know Caesar Burks. Well,
certainly. She's
his niece, and she's a young woman in her early 40s who was running the 4th largest women's prison in the U.S.
Is that right?
Absolutely. And we met last September. We met again in February, and we set a date to go. I'm going to take 2 carloads of women who are faculty members for Women of Color, Dr. Charlie Pratt, Dr. Ellen Burtz Cooper, Renita Jefferson, Ina Jo Chappelle, and these women are going to go along with me, and we're going to provide training for some of the inmates.
Inside the prison.
Inside the prison.
For women here in the state of Ohio, in Marysville. What are you going to do? What do you do?
Well, you know, they have different sets of populations, and they have a group where if you're about to be released soon, then they will talk about job opportunities. One of the folks that's going with us may actually have a job for someone. We're going to talk about leadership because they have to reintegrate themselves into the community. Believe it or not, sometimes families don't receive them back if they've been gone for a long time. They don't receive them back so well, or their church, their community. So we're going to help them with some self-esteem programming and some reintegration programming.
This kind of fits in with what President Obama has been saying regarding inmates in prison.
Absolutely.
A lot of people, he said, are in prison who should not.
Right, and we can't just throw those people away because, but for the grace of God, there go I or you.
Yeah.
So we can't just say, okay, you're a criminal, you're an inmate, you're a prisoner. These women are smart. They have a lot of initiative. They have high self-esteem. So we're going to go down there and try to reinforce those good attributes.
Yeah. They know you're coming, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you heard from any of the women? I know you haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But have you gotten any word from their expectations of you and your group?
Okay, well, we're going to have a conference call next week to talk about the curriculum. But I'm so glad you asked that question because the 4 women that I mentioned who, before the broadcast started, about the serving on a panel for women of color in Columbus, they all wrote me a thank you note and said how much they learned. They were allowed to stay all the way through lunch. They did an incredible job. There was not a dry eye in the house. And I responded to each one of them individually. And the warden didn't even know they had done it. So they had done it on their own. They collected all 4 of the letters and sent them to me in one envelope. I was so excited when I got it.
As I was telling you before the broadcast, I've spoken in prisons on 2 different occasions, maybe 3 different occasions, and found the inmates were always very, very open with questions and answers. And we had a good time. In one of my presentations, we actually talked about journalism with a women's group in the pre-release center here in the greater Cleveland area. But they were quite open to our time.
And they're looking for knowledge and information.
Yeah. What's your overall philosophy about all of this?
Well, I guess, Leon, when I went down in September, with Dr. Charlie Pratt and Dr. Ellen Burtz Cooper. It was really an out-of-body experience. The prison looks like a college campus.
In Marysville, Ohio.
In Marysville, Ohio. It is in a beautiful area. The only difference is it's surrounded by an 8-foot barbed wire fence. But they have a beauty school, a barber school, they have a pet grooming business, hospitality business. They make their own honey. They have incredible programming for the women so that when they do get out, that they have a skill that would be marketable in terms of searching for a job.
So you're going on Thursday, September the 10th.
Correct.
To the Ohio Reformatory for Women in Marysville.
That's right.
What's this going to do for you now? You get something, you and the Women of Color organization, you get something out of this too. I can see it in your eyes.
Yes.
What's it going to do for you?
Well, it's going to help me understand and realize that what I'm doing is right. I don't tap dance, I don't sing, I'm not very athletic. I used to be, used to run track, but this is my ministry, Leon. So these women don't even understand that while they say I changed their lives, they changed mine too. And they changed the attitudes and opinions of all of the women that they came in contact with at the Women of Color event in Columbus, Ohio in May. It was fabulous. And they were so excited. They came in uniform, but they were not treated any different than anyone else. And after that workshop, we had the prison administrators on a panel. And these young women talked about how they got there and what they plan to do with their lives and how much they enjoy working with Warden Burks, because she treats them like a human, not like a number.
And how to stay out of trouble once you get out.
How not to come back. Exactly.
That's the goal.
And that's one of the things that we want to try to do. Help them find jobs or mentor them once they get out.
Alexandria Boone is founder and chairwoman of the Women of Color Foundation. On Thursday, September the 10th, in the morning, you're going to the Ohio Reformatory of Women in Marysville with a group of other women.
Yes.
And going to really talk about some very important things.
Yes, sir.
I want to put a phone number on the screen. You can get more information from Alexandria on what she's been doing. 866-962-3411. You see the number, and there's an extension as well, extension 307. Or you can go to womenofcolorfoundation.com.
Correct.
Thank you, Alex.
Oh, thank you,
Good to
Leon,
see
for
you.
having me. I love talking about this program.
Tell all the women there we said hello.
I promise to do that.
They could be even watching this broadcast, too. They probably
You never
are.
know.
You
I
never
hope
know.
they are.
So do I. I'll take a break. I'll be right back. This is Kaleidoscope. In just a moment, the Executive Director of Autism Speaks. After these words, especially too. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. The annual Walk Now for Autism Speaks takes place on Sunday, August the 23rd. Executive Director Karen Helgeson is here to explain how to participate in this event. Amy Helgeson is here. Amy
Karen's
Helgeson.
a nice name, too.
Yeah, but
That's okay. I like the Karens out there.
Karen came to me, but it is Amy Helgeson who's Executive Director of Autism Speaks. Good to have you with us, Amy.
Oh, thanks for having us. We
And my
appreciate your
apologies.
support.
Tell me, what is Autism Speaks? What is the mission?
We are a national organization, but we have a local office here in Independence, 501c3, and our mission is to improve the lives of those touched by autism. So we do that in a number of different ways. We started just 10 years ago. We're a newbie on the block when it comes to new nonprofits, but we focus on research to make sure we can find more answers to what autism is and what may be causing it. Advocacy, making sure that our families have access to services through insurance, and also through family services, making sure that local service providers that are providing therapy, they get what they need, and we're spreading awareness throughout the community with our walks.
If you could just give us a little thumbnail sketch, if you could. I know it's a wide-ranging situation. What is autism? What happens?
So it's a general term for a lot of complex brain development issues that some individuals have. So that's the quick and easy way to say it, but it affects everyone differently. So 1 in 68 are diagnosed today with autism, and 1 in 42 boys. So boys are 5 times more likely to have autism. So it presents itself differently in everyone. So it causes difficulty in communication and socialization, and also sometimes repetitive behaviors may be something that someone with autism experiences because of how they're sensing the environment. So they might be overstimulated by sounds, smells, lights, but not everyone with autism experiences those things. So we always say if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism.
I know it's a fast-growing developmental disorder in the United States. Do we know what causes it?
We're starting to find out little bits and pieces here or there, but really the short answer is no. We don't know what's causing it. We're starting to find through research some genetic components and mutations. We're also starting to see some environmental factors as well as maternal health factors, making sure that women are taking prenatal vitamins and taking care of themselves while pregnant. Sometimes parents' ages when conceived, we're starting to see might have an effect, but it's just little factors here or there. It doesn't necessarily cause it. It just may be an increased risk factor. So we think it's going to be a combination of genetics and environmental factors, but that's why we're working hard to try and find out why.
Got to raise some money for research.
Yes.
So we're going to have a walk. Because that will raise some money for research. Tell me about the walk that you've got scheduled for Sunday, August 23rd.
Yes, Sunday, August 23rd, quickly approaching at Progressive Field. This will be our 8th year, I believe, here in Cleveland, and we're trying to raise the money so that we can give more back locally. So our goal this year is to raise $300,000, and we've already had over $6 million in grants come back here in Ohio. So we're really, really lucky to be able to give back locally as well as for national grants. And it's going to be an amazing day. One of the things that sets our walk apart is we have a resource fair. So for families that might be newly diagnosed or might be looking for different services, we have different providers from the community come out and talk about their summer camps or therapeutic riding camps or different behavior therapy groups. So we're really lucky to have them come out and share more information.
So it's not only walking for the cause and raising some money, but giving some information as well. We're right there. It's going to be at Progressive Field, the baseball park in downtown Cleveland, Sunday, August the 23rd. My notes tell me that you begin at 8:30 and the walk itself begins around 10 o'clock in the morning.
Correct, yes. I mean, people can come down at any time, but if they need to register that morning, it's going to start at 8:30. The resource fair will be open. We're going to have tons of activities for kids and young adults. There's going to be plenty of entertainment for those that have autism and are touched by autism in their families. So it's going to be a great celebration of our 1 in 68. We want it to be informative, but we also want everyone to come out and realize, you know, hey, you can come if your child has a meltdown or something happens, you're with family, and we understand. So come out and learn more.
Yeah. My good friend Jason Nicholas of NewsChannel5, our meteorologist, is going to be your master of ceremonies.
Yes.
So you'll have a wonderful day, and you'll probably have wonderful weather.
I know.
That's the prayer.
We always check in with him, you know, slip a little donation his way if we have to, just to make sure we get a little sunshine. So we're really grateful for his support.
What do you want people to draw out of this in our final minute of talking here? We talk about the walk. What do you want people to draw from this experience?
Basically just the awareness that those with autism, it presents itself in different ways. So you might see one person with autism that is nonverbal, but you might see another that is verbal. Right. So just being aware of that, and if you see someone having a meltdown, try to see if someone needs help. You know, don't be so quick to judge. I think that's one of the biggest things we're trying to create awareness about, and that also, you know, we need to make sure that we get these families the services they need. Right, so whether it's through insurance or be able to, through the ABLE Act, making sure that they can save just like anyone else would for their future, and making sure when they get to that point that there's employment and housing for these that are going to be aging out of the system very soon. And during our entire conversation here, we've had your website on the screen, walknowforautismspeaks.org/Cleveland. We see that at the bottom of the screen. And there's a phone number as well, 216-524-2842. And Amy Helgeson is Executive Director of Director in Ohio of Autism Speaks. Sunday, August the 23rd at Progressive Field. Registration begins at 8:30. The walk itself begins at 10 o'clock. Yes. Jason Nicholas will be there. We hope to see everyone there. It'll be a great day. And the prayer is for sunshine. Yes. Always or even a little bit of clouds. No rain. But we'll deal with whatever God brings. Many thanks, Amy Helgeson. Good to have you on the broadcast. Thank you so much. We wish you well, and tell all the kids and the parents too. We said hi. We will. Thank you. This is Kaleidoscope. I'll be taking a break. In a moment, we'll hear about a health and financial fitness seminar. But first, these words. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. Good to have you with us. The MC Chapman Center for Humanitarian Services hosts a health and financial fitness seminar on August the 29th and a multi-music fest on September the 4th. Assistant Director Ruby Alexander is here.
along with Kim Sellers of WZAK Radio to tell us about this event and how they're going to benefit the entire community. Good to have you both with us.
It's great to be here.
Absolutely.
And thank you for having us.
Oh, two longtime friends, Ruby Chapman and Kim Sellers. Good to see you both.
Good to see you, Leon.
But Ruby, let's begin with you. What's the mission of the MC Chapman Center for Humanitarian Services?
Our mission is to try to help the Garden Valley community, but not just the Garden Valley community, anyone that needs help, to help them job-wise, socially, to give them motivation to want to excel, to help the young people, and help in any way we can. There's a high rate of unemployment there. There's a poverty rate in the Garden Valley, Lower Kinsman area.
And we're talking about around East 79th Street and Kinsman.
Yes.
On the southeast side of
But
Cleveland.
the help is offered to anyone that wants to utilize the services that we provide.
Yeah, so you're going to have a big health and financial fitness fair coming up on Saturday, August the 29th. And my notes tell me you're going to hold that at the Jerry Sue Thornton building of Cuyahoga Community College, the main campus in the downtown area.
Yes. Yes.
Kim Sellers of WZAK Radio is here.
Oh, God.
93.1 on the FM dial.
I knew you should have done radio. I knew it. I knew it, Leon.
So you're involved in this too, Kim?
I am. You know, I'm just concerned about people and their wellness. I'm just honored and I'm glad to be the host of this event. I think it's going to be an incredible day. But, you know, people need to learn more about what it really means to be healthy, what it really means to take care of yourself. Of course, everyone knows my stories pretty much. And that's what their stories about autism. Yeah. Their stories about diabetes. Their stories about heart failure. Yeah. So everyone has a story.
Yeah, how are you doing on your health? How are you coming along,
I'm hanging
Kim?
in there. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, I know, because you've got the Kim Sellers Foundation. You've talked a lot about the disease that affects your life.
You know, it's been a journey for sure. But I'm just blessed that I was able to do the stem cell treatment. I feel like I'm making some progress. Everyone else may not be able to see it right away. Yeah. But it's slow progress. My physical therapist and my trainers, they all believe that it's definitely helping. So we're just staying prayerful.
And we're looking for some cures in the multiple sclerosis area and many things that affect our society. So you've got some good help. You've got a lady from the radio station. She's giving she's giving a good plug on the air. So what's going to happen at the Health and Financial Fitness Fair on August the 29th? What are you going to talk about there?
Well, we'll be there, of course, to educate people about different ailments, about different services that are available, you know, where they can turn to. Most of the time, we just don't know where to go. We don't know who to turn to. We don't know who to talk to. We don't even know where our health numbers should be. So this will be an opportunity. We're going to talk about a lot of those things, Ruby, and that's what the MC Chapman Center is all about. Once again, August the 29th at the Jerry Sue Thornton building of Cuyahoga Community College. That's at 2500 East 22nd Street in Cleveland. Starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and goes till 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And everything is free. They can just come in. And I just want to add that I found out that I was on the cusp of getting diabetes there. And so I never would have acknowledged it or known it. So there are a lot of things you might discover to your benefit. And I also wasn't taking my blood pressure medicine seriously. Now I do.
So we need to go to these fairs and we find out what's going on. Let me hold this placard here, because you've got a music fest which is coming up on Friday, September the 4th, and that's at Galleria at the corner of East 9th Street and St. Clair. Galleria. And tell me about this event that's taking place right here.
Well, at that event we're going to have Zap, and we're going to have Frederick, and we're going to have the Lion Dance King, and we're just going to have a great time. Music by the DJ Muff. And it's going to be a great time.
And all of this benefits the MC Chapman Center for Humanitarian
This will
Services.
help bring funds for the different services that we try to provide for the community, such as free school supplies, free food, counseling, and all kinds of services.
So people can go to Galleria. That's on Friday, September the 4th, and you start at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Start at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
You're going to have music at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, I have to open up keep my eyes open.
That's what they do on the radio. That's WZAK,
That's
music all day long.
All day long, all night long.
And this fits right into what you do too, of providing music, which plays an important part in all our lives,
Oh,
right,
absolutely,
Kim?
absolutely. You know, it's going to be an incredible event, you know, looking at some of the artists. We're just excited.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never miss a good concert.
Always, you're always there, Kim. This is a remarkable woman, ladies and gentlemen, a remarkable woman, Kim Sellers, who has dealt with so many physical ailments, but just keeps on going. You're an inspiration.
She's an inspiration. I was going to say the same thing.
God bless you for
I'm
being
just
on
glad
the
to be a
broadcast.
part.
Good to have you on the
I'd like to
broadcast.
add that we have some wonderful sponsors like the PNC Bank. We also have University Hospital, Cleveland Clinic, State Farm, and we thank everyone for being interested in this community that needs so much help.
Well, we thank you for being on the broadcast. Once again, those two events, Saturday, August the 29th, and on Friday, September the 4th, two great events. Thank you, ladies, for being on the broadcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I'll take a break. I'll be right back. Marshall Maccabi, the Urban League, after this. The Morning Exchange segment means Marshall Maccabi of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, who always caps the show with a commentary.
Hi, Leon. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing well. You know what's been on my mind over the last few weeks is that, you know, we're in this time where we're in the consent decree with the mayor, the Department of Justice, City of Cleveland, really looking at police reform. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is that it's not going to be just about any one entity being involved in the reform. It's really going to take a full community effort. And there's something that just dropped in my spirit that I just wanted to share with you. And that is about perception. And I thought about the fact that if we were standing and a pit bull began to charge us and we had a gun, what would we do? I know what I would do. I drop it, and I'm sure that my animal activists may have comment to me about that. But why would I do that? Because I've been conditioned to fear a pit bull, and I've been conditioned that it's dangerous. So I'm going to react out of that conditioning and out of that perception. And I believe that what the media has done and entertainment has done in terms of creating a thug mentality around our young African-American males, that's the very dynamic that is going to have to change before we're going to see any real significant reform around what's happening with police and young African-American males.
In our final 20 seconds, do you see thug, the word thug, as a racialized word?
I do. I do. I do. Certainly, it may also cross over into other ethnic groups, but certainly it is preeminent and pervasive within our culture.
Marshall Maccabi, the Urban League, with a commentary. That's going to do it for us. Take care.
This has been a presentation of News Channel 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.